Well, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. Today we are looking at a design by Jelly Jerry. You can find his Instagram. He is a knife designer over there and he's doing really amazing work. I will post a link to his Instagram in the description for this video. This is the Kubey KB245 Raven. And I love this knife. It has been a long time since a budget, and these are about 60 bucks, which is budget-y, since a budget knife caught my eye this hard. Now, the reason I got this is that LTK, Love Them Knives, shared that they were on sale, and he had one on his channel, and I thought it was really interesting looking, so I went and picked it up. And it showed up very quickly from Kubey, and when this thing came out of the box, all I could think was, damn, it is really good looking. It is very comfortable in hand. It has a great AUS 10, very slicey AUS 10 blade. It is running on bearings, steel liners, and this scale material. Now that is an interesting story. I'm not sure how well that's going to come out, but I got to tell you, it looks for all the world like micarta. And I mean, even down to where the pivot ring sits in, you can see the kind of rougher edges that you get with real micarta. They don't call it micarta. They call it synthetic scale material. And I don't know if that's, I don't know why. It may not be fabric micarta, but man, it is gorgeous. Feels great in hand. It's got a little bit of texture. It grips in really nicely. Jelly Jerry, my man, you made one of my all-time favorite budget knives, it turns out. This was a total surprise to me. I really did not expect to love it this much, and I do. Let's take a look at the blade here. It has got swedge across the top. It's got a great thumb ramp right here. It is tall enough that it comes down to a very nice edge. It's relatively thin stock, but it still feels very robust and very strong. There is no blade rock, no wiggle, no nothing right from the factory. And the action right from the factory is ridiculous. Now, unfortunately, you know, I was just about to tell you that I couldn't spider flick the thing, and then I did it. That's what happens sometimes. That's awesome. It is not a comfortable spider flick. This hole is buried a little bit down inside, but you can use it to roll the blade out very comfortably if you don't want to use the never fail flipper back here. You can push button this thing. You can light switch this thing. You can apparently, Spidey flick this thing, which that's very cool. It rides very well in the pocket on a milled titanium pocket clip that does not show, surprisingly for the shape. I mean, that is not a ton of knife sticking out. And I was really surprised by that. When I first saw it, I thought, well, you know. But, you know, what are we talking about here? We're talking about 3/4 of an inch of knife sticking out of your pocket, which for a knife this big is not that big a deal, really. And I want to point out this milled titanium clip, look how it closes up on the back of that knife. Just rolls in and becomes part of the, it's just gorgeous, man. You got whatever this material is the same thing that the backspacer is made of. You have a lanyard hole buried in the knife so that when it is on its side, it's completely invisible, but it is ready for you if you lanyard. I don't. The KB logo on the pivot is gorgeous. This is, the backside of the pivot is actually countersunk into this material a little bit, so there's nothing back here. You get 2 screws and the pivot. It is a very clean design with milling on this material to give it even more traction. 1 screw on the backside happens to hold in the pocket clip. And as you can see, this is a liner lock, but it is a well done liner lock. We are at about 35% lockup right out of the box. The way this is shaped, the show side has got slightly deeper cut to allow your thumb easy and regular access to the lock bar. This is a really well sorted and well thought out knife, and I am really impressed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the size of this thing while we've got it on the table like this. You get 1, 2, 3 Little over 3.5 inches of cutting on 4 inches of AUS 10 steel. The grip area from just behind the choil is 1, 2, 3, 4 full inches all the way down here to this end, which means that when I'm holding it, you get just a little bit of knife sticking out. It is very comfortable. Now, it is a little thin through the handle. Some of you who like thicker knives may not dig this so much, but I just love the overall aesthetic of this thing, and it is surprisingly comfortable. Now, I thought maybe at first I was going to get some wiggle because it's thin through here, but you don't. And when you plant your thumb, this thing is just married to your hands. Kubey makes good knives. They don't always make knives that I like aesthetically, but this thing, and particularly, man, that Jelly Jerry design is astonishing. Now, he does have one other knife that I love a ton, and that is, and unfortunately, it's not anywhere that I can get to it quick, but that is the Tucson TS222. So now that's 2, bud. You make knives I like, no question. Let's go ahead and get some size comparisons out of the way before we weigh it out. Here it is against the Rat Model 1, and as you can see, it is, let's line them up. It is about a 16th of an inch longer, excuse me, than the Rat Model 1. It is just a little bit bigger, and you get a ton more blade. Now, this is AUS 8, okay, steel. This is AUS 10. I don't know if they just get their heat treat right or what, but in the time that I've had this, all the things that I've cut, and of course, you guys know with me, that's not really hard use. We're talking about cardboard and paper and stuff like that. It has not lost its factory edge at all. It is very sharp. Here it is against the bug out. If we line up the pivots, well, let's line up the blades. You can see that, of course, the bug out is considerably smaller, but this is a big knife. The overall knife, which I forgot to do a second ago, which happens sometimes, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. Yeah, a little over 8.5 inches long. I love this thing. Can you tell? I really, really do. You know, the thing about budget knives is there's a lot of good out there. There really is. But every once in a while, something comes along that I think qualifies as great. And this, for 59 bucks, is great. Let's go ahead and weigh it out. It is 4.5 ounces, so it is riding right on that ounce per inch for that much blade. This thing is fantastic. Oh. It really is. If you guys are looking for an interesting, and I mean interesting design, well thought out, beautiful design, in the $60 range, the Kubey KB245 is just a total win. If you get a chance to go over on Instagram and check out the Jelly Jerry Designs page, you will not be disappointed. He has got some cool stuff. Now, when I talked to him, he said this was an older design. Okay. It's fantastic, man. It really is. We're going to go ahead and end it there. You know, sometimes I recommend knives. Sometimes I don't. Today, I am completely recommending this knife. This thing is fantastic. Have I said fantastic enough? Let's say it one more time. It's fantastic. Or I could say stellar. I don't know. I'm into repeating myself lately is what goes on. I'm stuck in my house. What do you guys want from me? Anyway, this has been the Kubey KB245. I have been a therapeutic edge. You have been my amazing audience. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.